Hi guys, welcome back to the Crooked River in Eastern. Today I'm going to do a little video on upgrading to some generic hoppers. This is an Athearn, probably an old blue box. I'm going to add some metal wheels, couplers, and show you some other things I do just to get it running a little bit better on the layout. So let me show you some things I have on the workbench here, some things I think are kind of essential to have. I'm going to turn this down to the bench. See what we can see here. Okay. So I get the lighting a little better there. Okay guys, so here we have some basic tools that you should have on your workbench. Some type of a foam wedge to cradle your cars. This is just a generic piece of foam I got from work. You can buy them on Amazon, that type of thing, or micro scale to get the cradles. Not too expensive. I got this one for free, so that's what I went with. So, pair of tweezers, especially if you have big fingers like me. You're going to want to have a small set of screwdrivers. Had this one for a while, but not much, less than $5. A pin vise, drill bit, and 256 tap set. It's a KD tap set. All your most your manufacturers use the 256 screws for couplers as well as trucks. Truck tuning tool, there from Micromark to clean out your trucks. You want an assortment of small screws. These are 256 screws. These are the small ones. I'll use these for the coupler boxes. These are the longer ones for the trucks themselves. Metal wheels. I like Intermountain. These particular ones are 36-inch. Of course, for me, I go with KV couplers. These are 148 whiskers. I use 146s sometimes too if I need a longer shank. That's what I like. KD has an assortment, as you guys know. I'm not a fan of plastic couplers. KDs have been tried and true. I stick with those. 1/4 ounce weights. Sometimes you have to add weight to the cars depending on what you have. Highly recommend this standards gauge from the NMRA. Costs you a few bucks to get it. Main thing is it has a wheel. What I'm going to use it for today is to measure the wheel width. Make sure all your wheels are engaged. So that's a big one. And then of course your KD coupler height gauge. This is a must-have, guys. If you want to make sure that your rolling stock is going to run right, you really do need that. You can't have different heights on everything. Nothing's going to stay coupled. So, what I did here today is I'm just going to bring this little piece of flex track up here. This is, like I said, that old Atlas, not Atlas, Athearn. Around this little piece of track. I do have a test track, but I can't really get it into the photo, or into the picture here. Now, these are kind of hard to show you, but it's definitely low. The height on this is definitely low. So I know I'm going to have to see potentially. I will fix it with the wheels. These may be 33-inch wheels. We'll have to see. That may fix the height. It may need some washers. Let's break some of those out. Yeah, I have an assortment of washers here. These are by Katie as well. There's a red one. They also make, this is a gray one, different thicknesses. I think the gray, is thicker. Don't ask me the thicknesses, but so you can use those to raise and lower the height of the car to what you need. So we'll see. First things first though, I'm going to remove these trucks. These trucks have plastic wheels. Like I said, I bought this at a show. I think I got it somewhere around $5, $6, $7, something like that. Not too bad. This has really long screws in there. Longer than necessary. So we're going to start with that. We're going to remove these plastic wheels. Don't need those. Bring this camera back out a little bit. I feel like I'm too close. Alright. So these are with your empty trucks. Get rid of that. I'm going to take my truck tuner. I'm going to put it in each side. One side is a cutting blade on it. One side is just round. I'm going to give it a little bit of a squeeze. Not too much. I'm just going to turn it a few times. Just to clean those holes out. You're going to flip it onto this end. Same thing. We'll do it on both trucks. And that's going to allow us to have nice free-flowing wheels. Free-rolling wheels, not flowing. Now some guys will replace the trucks themselves with a little higher quality in that, but for a $5, $6 car at a train show, I'm good with this. I've never really replaced the trucks unless the truck was actually bad, and I've never really upgraded anything really fancy. For me, these have enough detail. But they're out there if you want them. Alright, so that should be good there. Yep, there we go. Those are rolling really nice. Nice and free. Okay. So now what I'm going to do next is something I do with all my cars, guys. Eventually I'm going to probably weather everything I own. Or at least some kind of light weathering. But at least what you want to do is hit this with some sort of a dull coat. Get that original shine off of it so it doesn't look like such a toy-like car. You can use dull coat, you can use whatever. I just buy a matte enamel finish, matte clear. This is Rust-Oleum. I think I got it at Walmart or Home Depot, somewhere like that. So I would at least recommend doing something like that, just to get the shine off. Now I have a mix of what I just label as wheel and truck, but it's a rusty color, and I paint all my wheels and trucks as I bring everything to the layout. That's what I choose to do. So let me show you that real quick. Real quick process. Just going to take the wheel or the truck, place the brush in there. I'm just trying to, get that brightness off of there. And then what I'll do is take a Q-tip. That's another thing that's handy. And then we'll run this along that edge to get any extra off. I don't like it on that little rim. And also on the surface of the wheel that touches the track. So you don't want to be depositing anything on your tracks. So you just kind of do that. You clean them up while it's still wet. It's easier. If have to go back later. I will still do this afterwards. I'll run some alcohol over it, clean everything up nice. And I'm going to hit the other side. This one here. Hopefully you guys are getting that in the picture. And I'll clean that up real quick just to make it look neater. Okay. Now what I'm also going to do is I'm going to hit the actual truck itself. Now this looks pretty bright, okay? But when it dries nice and dull, nice and not as orange as it looks. And this is just a mixture of different colors, those craft paints. Buy them at Walmart or different craft stores, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, places like that. So I coat the trucks with this. I use a mixture, like I said, of raw sienna, burnt umber, throw a little bit of barn red in there, some yellow. Just mix it up, some tangerine, depending on how orange or whatever you want it. Well, the main thing to do is I just make sure that I don't lose any detail. You don't want to coat it so much you lose the detail of these springs and that. So I kind of take the tip of the brush and hit that in there so that I make sure that I don't lose that detail, like I said. So it's taking me a little bit longer here because I'm doing it on video. Really, it's a pretty quick process. I'm doing this right now before I move on to anything else. This way they have time to dry while I'm working on other things. All right. Like I said, sometimes you hit the truck and you want to clean that up. All right, so there's one. Set that off to the side. I'll get this other one real quick. Sometimes I'm a little neater. I don't end up having to do that Q-tip part, but for some reason today I'm not as neat as I'd like to be. It's okay. There's always a fix for things. There's always a way to fix things. And guys, a lot of the things that you can use are not that expensive. Like there's little, I've seen those little screwdriver sets at the dollar store for $1 now. You know, you're talking there's all kinds of different quality levels of things, of course, but just looking for a cheap set of screwdrivers, you can get it there. The little container I'm using to hold this mixture of paint, there's a 3-pack of them I got at either Walmart or the dollar store. It was $1 or $2, you know. So, and even like these tools on that, the standards gauges and the tools, I mean, they're all, most every one of them is, you know, $5-10 in that range. Your wheels and your couplers, of course, are going to be the most expensive things you're going to buy, depending on what brand you go with. But you know, you can get them on sales if you save up. You can save money on getting them in bulk packs as well. There's a lot of online companies, they'll give coupons every once in a while. Coupon codes, Yankee Dabbler being one, Midwest Model Railroad or Model R Supply. There's another one, Model Train Stuff is another one. You know, especially with the holidays and that coming up too for Christmas, and I'm sure there'll be some deals. Sometimes, you know, I know, like sometimes you'll get them where they'll run a 10% off discount on couplers and trucks, that type of thing. So anyways, let's move on to the next step. Now what I like to do, I'm going to change out these couplers, and with Blue Box, we have these little plastic, or these little metal clips with Athearn. They work great until they don't. And then they don't want to stay on, they fall off constantly, and you're always, derailing and coming uncoupled and stuff, because your coupler literally falls off the truck, off the body of the car. So what I do is I'm going to replace that coupler with a metal 148. Get it nice and centered and get it clipped on there properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill that little plastic circle out. I'm going to put a screw in there to hold that cover down, and we're not going to have this problem anymore. So this is just like an Accumate or something like that, plastic coupler, and it's okay if you guys want to use them. I'm just not a fan of them, and as I have been in the hobby a little bit now, I slowly changed everything over to KDs, even other metal couplers from other manufacturers. I just figured it'd be better. See, and this is why it was a $5 car. See, it's not perfect, guys. It's missing a stirrup here, things like that. A couple little pieces broke off, but it's gonna be a nice little filler car for whatever. Maybe I'll really rust this one up, when I get to weathering it. So I'm gonna take my pin vise now. I'm gonna try to center this real nice in the hole here. I want to try to leave as much meat all the way around as possible for the screw to bite into. So you want to try to stay as centered as you can. And with leaving that metal clip on, for me it's helpful because it helps me guide the screw, the drill bit. So for me it's been pretty helpful and been working out pretty good in that manner. If you get a little off center, it's not going to hurt anything really. You'll still be alright. I know that from experience too. You do get a lot of shavings here, so you get a little messy, but make sure everything's cleaned up. You don't have to go all the way through. I went through on this one. I try to stop short and I had to talking, and using these short screws, you don't have to go all the way through. You don't want to go all the way through really, because you don't want to really see it, but the screw will kind of hold that hole in, and then when I weather it, it'll be okay. So you take this end of it. I guess this is what this is for. What I use it for, it kind of opens that hole up a little bit at the top end of it to allow you to get the cutting edge here, the thread. And it's going to cut threads in for your screw. And that you want to get as straight as possible, and you want to get that lined up. Slowly turn that. I only go a few turns. I don't go all the way through. Just enough to get the thread started. And I'll let the screw itself finish the threads. And it gives it some nice bite. You go too thick on the hole, obviously the screw's just going to fall right in. And this is the fun part for me. This is what I wish, and that's what I was talking about, the screwdrivers. You can get a cheap set like I have. Eventually I would like to get a magnetic set. I got these old big fat fingers nowadays, and it's hard for me to sometimes get things where I want them to go. But you get that screw in there and you just slowly get that going, tighten it down. You don't want to over tighten it, you don't want to strip it out, and then you don't want to over tighten it to the point where you can actually bend that metal and then you end up too snug in there. Like that's a little snug, so I'm going to back it out. Actually, I'm going to tell you what I did. With these whiskers, you got to make sure you don't get any whiskers caught in the clip. I got one caught in here, one side, so that's my bad. So you want to make sure that's down and you're nice and free before you tighten that down. Perfect. See? So you got a screw in there now, and you got that clip ain't coming off now unless you take it off. So there you go. This side done. Now this pin vise I think was less than 10 bucks. I think I got it in Hobby Lobby. I used a 40% coupon, so it made it less than 10 bucks. It was 8 or 10 bucks. I don't think I have the actual box to it anymore. So, and it comes with some drill bits too, so. Okay, so that one's running good. Let's go ahead, we'll put the screw in. Yeah. Big fingers. Perfect. So now those will, like I said, that fixes that problem with those clips kind of always wanting to pop out of there. So let's give this a try. See now, let me show you the wheels. Now remember how bright that paint looked to start out with? But now if you look at it, it's that brown really kind of tones it down. Here, let me hit this with a little bit so you can remember. There. You know, so you definitely, you could hit it again and, you know, and make it more, but I like it just like it is. So I'm going to just, I got some, I'm going to leave it like that. I like it better. I don't want it real bright. So let's get these back on and we'll check the height on it and see where we're at. I'm going to put some shorter screws in there, guys. The screws that were in there are really long and unnecessary. So whoever had it, maybe that's all they had left on their bench. So now this is already tightened all the way down and they're still kind of pretty wobbly here. I don't know if I got that in the picture. So, but that's tightened down as far as I can. So I'm going to have to live with that. You don't want to over tighten, you know, you always want to have a little slack. A lot of times when you tighten them down all the way, you need to, you know, I usually tighten them all the way down, then I back off about a quarter turn to a half a turn on the screw, because you want a little bit of play, but you don't want it to be wobbly. Can't be too, there you go, that's perfect. That should work perfect. You know, you want them to be able to move a little bit so they can conform to, you know, your track when they're going through turns and stuff. My curves are all super elevated, so I want them to be able to turn a little bit so they elevate on a, you know, they conform. So let's set those off. Put my piece of track back up here. I just dropped my gauge. And we'll see where we're at on the height. Alright guys, that's pretty dead on. See that or not? That was kind of weird the way I got this setting, but that's pretty dead on that end. I'm not going to really do much more than that, I don't think. That's not going to cause any issues, so I'm not going to have to add any kind of washer on that end. And then there's always the possibility you might have to you know, add on one side and not the other as far as that goes. You know, these are old cars, sometimes they don't always set in the body right. And there you go. Same thing there. I don't think I'm going to get that much better than that. So I can live with that. Last thing I'm going to do, just because I have the color already out, is I like to hit the couplers with just a little bit of this rust color, just because I don't see black couplers out in the real world. And it just gives it a little bit, in my opinion, some realism. And, you know, if you don't do anything else to this car, just the trucks being a little bit weathered, and the couplers being a little bit weathered or rusted up there, you know, helps, in my opinion. Oh, and the dull coating, so you don't look like you're pulling a toy train around. Alright guys, so that's what we got. Just a simple Athearn conversion, not really conversion, just a little bit of an upgrade. Nothing real fancy, no like real detail upgrade, but you know, the metal wheels, metal couplers, and again for these I like to do to screw the boxes in, just for so we don't have any issues with those coming loose. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Hope you got a little bit out of this. You know, a lot of it's just pretty basic stuff. But, you know, I was doing it anyway, so I thought I'd throw the video camera on and make a little video for you guys. So again, thanks for watching, and please like, share, subscribe, and I will talk to you next time. Thanks.